Alrighty, y'all. Episode number 96 of this beautiful week in the ecom dispensary. It's actually not that beautiful of a week over here. There's a freaking hurricane, but rain or shine, we're in here in the trenches. And this one we're talking about how to create an actually good customer experience. Me and the Scott man are always yapping about the fact that you need to have a good customer experience. Your customers need to actually be satisfied when they purchase from you. If you want to build a long-term sustainable business and not just some kind of shitty dropshipping store, people have to actually enjoy buying from you, which is honestly a bit easier said than done. In this one, we just kind of want to walk through some of the main things. This isn't like anything super crazy by any means. A lot of it, honestly, to me is common sense. Like, I feel like most of you probably have an idea in your head of, well, how do you satisfy a customer? Well, I mean, you've been satisfied before by other companies, so you probably have a decent idea of how to do this. But we want to walk through some of the main things and what you should be doing when you're trying to actually create a good customer experience. You're trying to build a long-term brand. You want to have great reviews. You want people buying from you multiple times, having that repeat customer rate on fleek. So let's talk about it. Customer experience, again, very important. Can't run a sustainable business without a good customer experience. So I think the number one thing in ecom to create a good customer experience is just like fast shipping and processing times. Your customers need to get their order in relatively fast fashion. I would say honestly, like anything within like a week, I'd say is pretty solid. Obviously, the faster the better. Amazon is obviously very far ahead in this, and I mean, think like Amazon's the biggest e-commerce company ever. What's their kind of main thing? Well, they have 2-day shipping, and in a lot of places they have 1-day shipping. It's extremely important. The shipping times, I mean, would you agree, Scotty, that the shipping times are probably one of the most important factors, if not the most important factor?
Um, Product fundamentally working and doing what you say it's going to do, I would say is probably more important than shipping times. But yeah, shipping times is going to be next.
Yeah. Yeah, that's another thing. The product that you're selling has to actually do what you say it will and be somewhat of high quality. It doesn't have to be like crazy high quality or anything. And sometimes, I mean, I think this could even mean that it's not even like that high of quality, but the quality of it has to be in line with the expectations when they buy. So if you're selling something for $5, they're probably not going to expect that it's going to be, made out of solid gold and be incredibly high quality. If you're selling something for hundreds of dollars, that's probably going to be a little bit different. So I think it's really about kind of modulating the experience to what their expectations are. If you create really amazing expectations, if you say your product is literally going to like, I don't know, just like change their life, oh, then I better freaking change their life. I don't know. I think that's like the whole thing of like buyer's remorse. A lot of times it's not necessarily that the product is bad. It's just that the product isn't what they were expecting. That's probably, I think that's probably, I mean, it's like very basic, but I think that's probably the most important thing is your product has to be in line with the expectations that you create for it.
Yep. That's kind of where I guess people go wrong. They think, oh, I need to get rid of this product because it's not it's not super high quality. Maybe, but you also have another look at how you're marketing it. What's the price point? Are you saying it's super high quality, super durable, or are you just saying it's unique? Because what you have to realize is that a lot of cheap products people love. Wish I
Mm-hmm.
could think of an example off the top of my head. Oh yeah, so I used to have these footballs, soccer balls that are like $30, which is not a lot for football. And they broke pretty easily, but they were fucking awesome. They were the way the material was made. You could pump it up super hard, and it would still be soft on the outside. And it was just a great ball. But of course, it breaks. Like it won't last longer than a year. And that was fine because it cost $30, and I fucking loved it. Whereas if that same ball had cost $150 and it breaks every 6 months, that is a pain in the ass, and not buying that again.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that makes a lot of sense. It's got to be in line with what you say it will do. Another thing is custom packaging. Now, I think this is something that people get really excited about, and they, at least this is something that I did. I went way over the top. The first time I ordered inventory and got custom packaging, I went like way over the top trying to make the packaging just like insanely nice. And it ended up increasing the cost by a lot, which kind of ended up being detrimental to the business. I think in terms of packaging, like it really does not need to be anything crazy. It doesn't need to have, insane high quality materials. You don't need to make like a freaking Apple unboxing experience. Like the Apple packaging, you buy an iPhone, you buy a MacBook, you buy a Mac desktop, whatever. The unboxing experience is freaking unparalleled. It's incredible. You don't really need to go that far. But this probably makes a lot more sense if you have the kind of context of knowing, if you've ever ordered something from AliExpress and you see the packaging that comes in. If you have that idea in your head of like what that looks like, if you don't, I mean, it's just like probably the small cardboard box with a bunch of, it's got like 1,000 different stickers on it. Half the stickers have Chinese writing on them. It's like taped up like insanely, just like so much tape on it for absolutely no reason. And then you open it and it's like shit just kind of falls out of it. Like there's no structure to it. It's just like, I don't know. It's just like kind of shitty. You don't need to do anything crazy, but you want to have like just a decent look and feel to your product packaging, whether that's, a custom box or some sort of like custom mailing bag, or how you're packaging it inside of the mailing bag or inside of the box. It doesn't need to be anything too crazy. And I really think that in general, you want to err on the side of like keeping this pretty minimal, because you don't want to be doing a bunch of stuff that's like increasing your cost by a lot, because that can really come back to bite you. But it's just got to be decent. Like someone's got to be able to open it and just not immediately think, wow, this is shitty. Because the funny thing is about product quality is a lot of times it has very little to do with the actual quality of the product and all to do with the presentation of it and what they're kind of like thinking. If something comes in a weird looking Chinese box and it smells weird, they're automatically going to think that it's low quality. When in reality, I mean, that has absolutely nothing to do with the product itself, but that's just how our brains work.
Yep, that's 100%. That's something I was going to add as well. A lot of the stuff we're talking about is more applicable to products that are, I don't know, accessories. But there is also the fundamental problem. If you're selling a problem-solving product has to solve the problem. Doesn't matter what the packaging's like. If you say your knee brace is going to solve knee pain and it doesn't solve knee pain, you're going to have an issue. So maybe you should tone down your claim a bit and not be solve knee pain, but instead be protect your knees from injuries or whatever.
Mm-hmm. Harkening back to, was that an episode last week or was that 2 weeks ago? We talked about marketing angles. I think that was 2 weeks ago.
Yeah. The whole,
Very true.
The whole perception thing is super interesting, how that affects perceived quality. It's it's one of those things where remember I bought that suit when we were in Thailand, Schmitty, and then they shipped it over to me. It took them months to finally ship it because they were in no rush. Obviously, I'd already paid. I was just waiting on them to ship it. And they shipped it in the tiniest of boxes. This is a suit jacket and pants in a box the size, like it looked like an iPhone size box. It was tiny.
How the hell did they get it in there?
It was tiny. It was just completely like it was just stuffed in there, wrinkled together. Suit looked horrible when it came out. Bring it to dry cleaner and get shit fucking whatever. And it was great. But that original experience, that original moment is horrible. When you're like, what the fuck is this? And if I'd already tried it on, so it's a little different. But if you bought that suit online and that's how you received it, you would never buy from that company again.
Yeah. It is funny how that works. Another thing about creating an actually good customer experience is having actually good customer service. Now, this is also very high up there in the list of priorities when it comes to creating a good customer experience, because inevitably when you're running an e-com biz, you're going to have people who have questions. They're like, where's my order? you're going to have issues with shipping. It's not going to get there in time, or they're going to get the wrong thing, or they ordered the wrong size, or they want something different, whatever it is. There's a lot of different reasons people might email you. But if you have really great customer service, if your customer service is responding to people within like 24 hours, like consistently, and they're going above and beyond to try to make sure that everyone is satisfied, that goes such a long way. And I mean, we've gotten multiple reviews on our brand that's like, I ordered this, it was the wrong size. The customer service was absolutely incredible. Like they shipped me out the right size, right away. And, I got it and it fits. It's awesome, whatever. That's like a really big thing, because when people see that, if people are scrolling through your reviews and they see something like that, that is going to make them a lot more likely to buy, because then they know that, because I feel like that's like a really big objection that people have, or a big reason people don't buy is like, well, this isn't exactly what I was expecting or what I need. Am I going to be able to be taken care of? Am I just going to get fucked over, or is this actually, are they going to actually, try to help me out here and do what's right? And if you're doing that consistently, you're going to have people talking about that. And that just goes such a long way with just creating a great customer experience.
Yeah, those reviews I think are fire. Going to help a lot with conversions, and also just keeping people happy, not getting negative feedback spread around your ads, spread around the internet, not getting issues with Facebook feedback score, stuff like that goes a long way. Also, a little secret trick in there for those of you just getting started who might be dabbling and writing your own little reviews. Not that we would ever recommend doing that, but reviews like that point out a negative experience, but then are like happy because customer service took care of them. Those are probably some of the best reviews you can have.
Yeah, I love those. Like, something was wrong, they stayed, because it's just so real. Like, they state the downside of it, and like that just comes off as like very, I don't know, very realistic. Like they're not saying that everything was amazing. They're saying that there was something wrong, but they fixed it. So, and people really appreciate that. Like that goes a long way.
Yep, 100%.
That was a mistake that I made early on, was not focusing on the customer service, and it came back to bite me. So highly recommend paying solid attention to your customer service. And I mean, those are really all the main things. Is there anything else, Scotty, that you can think of that we haven't mentioned yet?
I don't think so. I think a lot of times you want to read through customer service as well, especially if you're no longer doing it yourself, and see what are the most common customer concerns and how can we fix those. A lot of the times, like, there's no issue you can't fix. Every issue can be fixed. It might not be worth fixing. It might be more hassle than it's worth. It might cost more than it's worth, but every issue can be fixed and you should look into them.
I think that's solid advice. So to recap, how to create an actually good customer experience. First of all, make sure that your product actually does what you say it will, that it's decently high quality, and most of all, that it aligns with the expectations that you're creating around it. You don't want people to get your product and be upset about it because it's not what they thought it was going to be. If it's what they think it's going to be, that's probably the most important thing. Besides that, you want to have fast shipping times from the US, ordering inventory probably from China, working with a 3PL or fulfillment center, and having those, less than 1 week shipping times, having some sort of packaging that is just like not shitty, and it's just like honestly just decent. Again, you don't need to put a shit ton of money into this. Just something that creates a decent unboxing experience for them. And then just have good customer service. Make sure that your customer service replies fast. Make sure that they are doing what they can to go above and beyond to satisfy your customers. And that's about it, man. That's about it. It's pretty simple, but I don't know. These are things that people tend, especially like people who are just getting into e-com. I feel like this is not something that people really focus on a whole lot because they're just trying to make as much money as possible. And even though these things don't seem like they're going to directly make you money, they will. They will. Just trust me. Doing these things, just honestly running your business the right way, and just not being a greedy little fuck and just actually trying to satisfy your customers, it will end up being the most profitable thing for you in the long run.
Eventually it all pays off.
Well, that's the gist, folks. That's the gist. Episode number 96. We'll talk to you guys in the last episode this week, episode number 97. See you there.